We'll come outside again to pot on our beans and peas. So what you need is a container. I'm using an old trough that I have planted up in previous years. You need your compost, which I've already filled. You need, for the peas, because they're only a short pea, you need twigs for them to grow up. You need your water, and then you need your plants, and then optional is kitchen scraps. So you need to fill up your container. If you add in kitchen scraps, then you would put some compost in, then put your kitchen scraps, and then cover those with compost. Give it a little bit of water before you start. And then we're going to start with the beans. Great thing about using the egg box is you can just tear off the portion that's got the seedling in, and then plant the whole thing, including the egg box, and that also helps with water retention. The roots will find their way out themselves. And then you just plant them in. Now, if yours, like mine, have gone a little bit lanky because they were stretching to the sun inside, you can bury them a bit deeper so that you're covering some of the stem. So with this one, I take it down a lot further. Make sure it's standing up. Alright, we've got one here that's not really come up, but it's just starting. So I'm going to put that one in as well. So one of the important things that's important is, one, don't forget your label, but is to make sure all your cardboard is covered, because if that dries out, then it will draw water, moisture away from your seedlings, and you don't want that really. Okay, so now turn this around so you can see. And we're going to do the same with our peas. So this is Kelvedon Wonder. It's a short pea. And again, we did these in toilet rolls. There, look at those roots come out the bottom. And we do the same, just bury the whole thing. Make sure you have your label in, but cover them so you can't see the toilet roll. Now for the peas, what you can see is that how they grow, or how they attach themselves to things to grow tall, is with these tendrils. So that tendril will want to wrap itself around something. So if there's nothing to wrap around, they'll wrap around each other. This one might even wrap around the bean. But what we do is provide something for them to grow up. So put in some small twigs that they can wrap their tendrils round. Okay, that should do. Actually, we'll give one to this just over here. So ideally you want twigs that are branching, but anything that they can wrap themselves around is fine. And then you just give it a water. That's a great thing. Once you've got something large, you can revert to using a watering can for watering, and that just needs to go somewhere sunny. So now we're going to plant up our tall beans. This variety is Blue Lake, so it will grow very tall. So you need a container. So I've just turned an old compost bag inside out, but you could use a pot that you bought, or you could use a bucket. You just need to make sure it's something with holes in the bottom. You need your compost, you need something for the beans to grow up. Excuse me. So I've got bamboo canes. You'll need your seedlings, string to tie the canes at the top, scissors to cut your string, your water, and again optional is kitchen scraps. So you need to fill your container with your compost, put in your kitchen scraps at the bottom. The kitchen scraps are basically to give extra nutrients later on as they decompose, and beans really like that. You need your canes, so I've stuck 6 in because I've got 6 beans, and then I've tied them at the top to stop them moving. The canes that you've got in your pot will need fixing together, tying together in some way, so you can just gather them together like this to in effect create a wigwam, and then wrap string, cut a piece of string and wrap it round. Doesn't even have to be really tight. Tie a knot. Okay, so again, we've got our beans in our egg boxes, so it is the same, just tear it off and then plant a bean at the base of each cane. So it can be a little awkward going in and out of the canes. Don't forget your label. And again, if it's stretched, just plant it a little bit deeper and make sure that you cover your egg boxes. So what will happen is these beans will wrap themselves around the poles as they grow, and then you just water. Now what you can do, rather than starting your plants off inside, you can have this set up and then just put your bean seeds straight at the bottom of each pole cane, and start them off that way if you haven't got the space inside to do that. One of the reasons I start them off inside is it means I can start them a little bit earlier, but also squirrels and mice like beans, so it avoids them being eaten. But just make sure that you keep everything in a pot well watered, so that because it will dry out a lot quicker than if it was in the ground. And there you have, in a few weeks we'll have beans growing. Now we're going to plant our tall peas. So you need a pot, a container of any kind. It can It can be a pot, it can be a bucket, it can be an old compost bag. You need your compost, you need canes, you need string, scissors to cut your string, you need your plants, you need your water. Optional is kitchen scraps again. What I'm going to start off showing you is that peas, again, because they've got these little tendrils on them, which is what they grasp onto to grow up something. Peas need can't grow up the canes, so they need string, something to grow up. So I'm just quickly going to show you how I create my wigwam for the peas to grow up. So it is 5 canes in, because I've got 5 plants. Tied them at the top and then just wrapped string around them coming down, and at the base I keep it quite close, and every now and again I will just go round a cane to help secure it, keep it tight, so it's a bit closer at the bottom for when they're starting off, and then you just put your string tie a knot in it. A bit awkward because and then you're ready to plant. So our peas we put in toilet rolls. So take out the whole toilet roll. There you can see it's got roots coming out the base. And then we're going to put each toilet roll next to a cane. And again, you need to ensure that you bury the toilet roll. Now, I actually put 2 peas in each of these toilet rolls, but some I've only come up with 1, some have come up with 2. Let's actually use this. So you need quite a deep hole to get that hole of that toilet roll in. But that's okay, we've planted them whether they've got 1 or 2 in. We're not separating them out. There's a label, so put the label in. Do this one around the back. Now nothing has grown in this one, don't know why. So what I'm actually going to do is put a seed, 2 seeds in actual fact, at the base of this cane. I'll just cover those over. Compost. And then you can also, if you wanted to, could put one next to the one that's got one missing. And they'll obviously be a bit behind these ones, but hopefully they'll grow anyway. So what I'm going to do is just gently tuck the shoots that are able to behind the string to encourage them to grasp hold of it. That one will have to grow a bit longer. And what will eventually happen, they'll grow, they will grasp hold of the string, and eventually when they get further up they will grasp hold of each other. And then hopefully in a few months we will have peas that we can pick directly. Remember to keep it well watered. A bit more awkward with the canes. In a few weeks we'll have beans and peas.
We'd really love you to get involved with Growing with Gateway, and you can find our videos on our website www.thegatewaycollective.co.uk. We'd also love to see what you're growing, and you can do this by sharing on social media using the following hashtags. Thanks for watching. We can't wait to see what you grow.